everyone, welcome to today's tutorial. If you're new on this channel, welcome. Today we are going to be learning something very easy but very important for every fashion designer to know, and that is how to read our tape measure. So today that's what we're going to be focusing on. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please subscribe, like this video, and comment below if you have any questions after watching this video. Thank you. We are going to be using this one. Most tape measure usually have this iron here. Very likely your own also has this iron here, but this one I have removed the iron here. We have this iron and it blocks some of the lines at the beginning of the tape, so that's the reason why I'm going to be using this one, because I've removed the iron here so you could see where the line is starting from. So that's the reason why we'll be using this one. So we're going to be focusing on the inches part. It is true it also has centimeter behind it as well. Here in Nigeria we use this part, which is the inches part, so we're going to be focusing on the inches part. So let's start our explanation of how we are going to read our tape measure. I'm going to be using this. I've already drawn from 1 to 2 inches. It's just a sample. There is no tape measure that is this short. We're going to start by trying to find out how many lines, these little small lines we see here, that's not boldly written what it represents, how many are they? So we're going to count it and find out how many it consists of. So that's what we're going to start with. So please, if your tape measure is with you there, ensure that it's there so that you could be able to follow along as we do our counting. So you can see this long line here. This long line represents this long line here that I've drawn. And we know that any number before 1 is usually 0. Any number before 1 is 0. So we could call this 1 0. So I will be marking this point as 0. So we could understand it better. So that's the reason why we are using this point as 0 inch. So when we want to count, we don't count starting from 0. For instance, if you are asked to count 7 cars, you will not say 0 car, 1 car, 2 cars. No, you're going to start from the first car, which is number 1. So we are not going to start from this point. We are going to start from the next line. That is where you always count from, your next line. Many people make that mistake by trying to count and they start from the line which they are counting from. No, that's not what you do. You start counting from the next line, which is this line I'm pointing at now. This line is where I'm going to start counting from. So we'll say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Let's count it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So we can say that each, we could call this a box, we could call this part, let's just use that as an example so we could understand it better. We could call these parts boxes. This box consists of 8 lines. If you count here 2, let's count it 2. You know, we will not start from this long line. This line belongs to this place. So we're going to start from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see that all the boxes here consist of 8 lines. There's some other measuring tape which consists of 16 lines or even more than that, but we are going to be using this one which we have here. We're focusing on this and trying to understand this one rather than trying to understand the one that has 16 lines when we are not having it here. So we're going to be using this one which consists of 8 lines to understand what it represents. So we have 8 lines here as we have said. So we could say that this one is the first line of the 8 lines. We can say this is the second line of the 8 lines. We can say this is the third line of the 8 lines. We can say this is the fourth line of the 8 lines. So we could also call this 1 over 8. We can call this 2 over 8. We can call this 3 over 8, 4 over 8, 5 over 8, 6 over 8, 7 over 8, 8 over 8. So let's focus on this so that we could see it clearer. We'll still come back to our measuring tape. So we started counting from here. So we said this is the first line of the 8 lines. So we can call this the first of the 8 lines. So we could say this is 1 over 8 of the 8 lines, 2 over 8 of the 8 lines, 3 over 8 of the 8 lines, 4 over 8, 5 over 8, 6 over 8, 7 over 8, and 8 over 8 of these 8 lines. This will also apply to this part and all the other parts of the measuring tape. So we're going to boldly write it out so that we could understand. We'll use our marker. So we'll say this is 1 over 8. This is 2 over 8. This is 3 over 8. This is 4 over 8. This is 5 over 8. This is 6 over 8. This is 7 over 8. And this is 8 over 8. So this is what the lines represent. But I can see some parts which can be divided, which we shouldn't leave like that. So we could say 2 over 8 can be divided. I can see 4 over 8 which can be divided. 6 over 8 can also be divided, and 8 over 8 can be divided. So we're going to divide them. So we can say 2 in 8 will give us 1 over 4. That is 2 in 2 will give us 1. 2 in 8 will give us 4. Likewise, 4 over 8 can also be divided. We can say 4 here can give us 4 can go in 4 one time. 4 can go in 8 twice. So we can say this is 1 over 2. We can see 6 over 8. 2 can go in 6 3 times. 2 can go in 6 3 times. 2 can go in 8 4 times. So that is 3 over 4. Then we can see 8 over 8. 8 divided by 8 will give you 1. So that's the one that is here. We can say this line is 1/4. This line is half. This line is 3 over 4, and this line is 1. So that is how we identify it. So now let's point at it on our measuring tape so that we could see it better. So this one is 1 over 8. This is 1 over 4. That's 1/4. So if we are asked to look for an inch and quarter, we know that this is what we are looking for. 1 inch and quarter, this is what we are looking for, the second line. But we've divided it, that is why it's now giving us 1 over 4. If we were asked to look for 5 inches and 3 over 8, we know that this is the third line we are looking for. That is the line we are looking for, 3 over 8. 5, 3 over 8, this is the line we are looking for. Or we are asked to look for 16 and a half. We go to our inches, 16 inches. And we know that the fourth line is our half. Most times it's even easy to identify your half point because it is longer than the rest of the lines in the box. So that's why we will say this is half inch. That's just basically it. So we're going to transfer. So this part applies to this part. So let's transfer this one in a divided form to this place so that we could see it clearer. So this is 1 over 8. 1 over 4, 3 over 8, 1 over 2, 5 over 8, 3 over 4, 7 over 8, and we have our 2, which is boldly written there. So this is how to read your measuring tape. So please, you could also practice this as well. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was helpful one way or the other. Comment below if you have any questions or you've tried it and you now understand how to read your tape measure. And see you in the next video.